To be honest with you, if there's no income in his end, I would like for it to stay at the amount that is right now.
First, we'd ask the court to notice that the father is here, although he was not served, and that he's been sent a copy of the petition.
So noted.
Okay, I'll read the partial agreement and then I'll take testimony. Parties agree that child support arrears should be confirmed in the amount of $40,299 as of March 31st, 2025. Parties are in agreement that a medical support arrears judgment should be taken in the amount of $15,367.17 as of March 31st, 2025. Parties agree that neither of them has insurance available at a reasonable cost and that Medicaid should be ordered. The contested issues are the modification of the child support and the payment on the arrears. I will now call the mother. Ma'am, can you state your name for the record?
Cindy Orozco.
And ma'am, can you state the name and age of the child or children in this case?
Mackenzie Miller, 13 years old, and Cody Miller, 12 years old.
And they still live with you?
Yes, ma'am.
And you don't live with the father, correct?
That's right.
Okay. Did you hear the agreements I read?
Yes, I did.
Are those portions, are you in agreement with those?
Yes, I am.
Okay. The state is asking for the payout on the arrears. This is not going forward, but the payout for child support be $252. Are you okay with that?
I'm not in agreement with that.
Okay. And we're asking that the payout on the medical support arrears be $127. Are you okay with that?
Yes, I'm in agreement with that.
Okay, how much do you want the arrears payment to be?
The arrears. Let me see. Okay, you know what? I do apologize. Yes, that is right. That is what we
Okay,
talked about. Yes.
okay. And then the state is requesting to modify child support going forward. So yeah, this is different than the arrears going
Right.
forward. We're asking for child support to be $262. It's $340 now. Are you in agreement with that change?
That is not what I'm in agreement with. Yeah.
Okay, what do you want it to be?
To be honest with you, if there's no income in his end, I would like for it to stay at the amount that is right now. Because I do have one of my kids is autistic, so I do need support on that financially.
Okay. And then for medical support, we're asking $113. Are you in agreement with that portion?
You said that's for medical, correct?
Yeah, for the cost
That's
of
fine.
Medicaid.
Yes, I'm in
Okay.
agreement with that.
And there was a non-disclosure of your address ordered last time you were here, is that correct?
That is correct.
And do you want that to continue?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have anything else that you would like to add?
Well, to the judge.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would like for you to take consideration of 10 years that has passed, and I've been doing everything that I can to take care of my kids financially, and all across the room. And I really would wish that that the other parent would step up and do something for them.
Thank you.
That's it.
I pass this witness. I call the father. Sir, can you state your name for the record?
Yeah, it's Michael Cody Miller.
Okay, Mr. Miller, I know there's some portions we don't agree to. But we'll get to those in a second. First, I'm gonna ask you the portions that I read as agreements. Are you still okay with those?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's talk about the reason that we're here for the modification. What are you currently doing now for work?
So right now I'm looking for work. I'm working odd jobs here and there. I do deliveries for a company sometimes. I make on average right now like 200 a week. If sometimes it's a little more, but right now because of it's been kind of slow. It's been averaging about a little over $200 a week. I'm also currently in school. I'm a year into school for 3D game art design. I have one more year left, and I'm gonna have my bachelor's degree. So right now, I've just been in the process of trying to deal with all this, and at the same time, try to figure this out. I also have testimony on my part, if I can, that I would like to say.
Let's get through my questions first, and then at the
Sure,
end, you'll have the opportunity to address the court. I think
sure.
some of the things I may ask you may help. All right, so would you say that your circumstances have changed financially as far as work since the last time we were here?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, circumstances in life, no, because at the time I was still working and I was on the streets back when we first came to court about child support. Things have gotten a little bit better. I'm not necessarily on the streets. I'm still struggling, but I'm in school. So yeah, things have definitely changed, and some parts it's still been kind of hard for me.
So you're okay with the child support that the state is requesting, the 262 for child support and the medical support for 113?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And we're asking that the payout of the arrears be 252 and 127. 252 for child support, 127 for paying on those arrears for medical. What is your opinion on that?
I'm fine with it.
Okay. So now let's talk about the non-disclosure. Um, as you know, the mother was granted a non-disclosure last time we were here. You heard her testimony, correct, where she said she wanted it to continue. What is
Yes.
your response to that?
I completely disagree with it. The thing for me is originally I was put on supervised visitation so that I could see the kids with her mother. Her mother was the one that was chosen to be the supervisor with me and the kids, and that was completely fine with me because me and her mom get along. The thing is that at the time there was like probably 2 or 3 weekends that I got to see the kids with her mom, but her mom was so busy with work, working 6, 7 days out of the week at the time that she couldn't keep up with letting me see the kids every other weekend. And eventually Cindy started letting me see the kids on my own. And,
Okay,
you
sir,
know,
let me be a little bit more specific.
I want her to release her address. I want to know her phone number. I didn't know without my contract that when she didn't show up to Chick-fil-A and stop letting me see my kids, that I had to put what is a report in. I didn't know that, but for the past 11, 10 years I have not been able to see my kids. I have not been able to talk to them. I don't get phone calls. I don't get video chats. I haven't been able to be in touch with my children in this entire time, and I don't care about paying what I need to pay for my children. I'm not giving up. It's just I want to be able to talk to them, and right now I'm out of state, but it's temporary. Pretty soon I'm coming back home and I want to be a part of their lives. But for now, I would at least like to talk to them or see them on the phone or something. But I don't get any of that. And I don't feel that it's fair that I don't know where she lives. I don't feel that it's fair that I don't have her phone, because when she blocks me on social media, I have no way of reaching out to my children. I don't know if they're okay. I can't do anything as a
Has
father.
there been any family violence since the last order between you two?
No, man.
No, but there was
Nobody's asking
that
you,
was
Mr.
ordered.
Rosco.
That's why it was
Mr.
brought.
Rosco, nobody's asking you.
Okay.
Um,
Mr. Miller, you want to answer the question?
Yes, I said no, ma'am. There has not been.
Okay. I pass this witness and I'm just gonna ask mom about family violence. Ma'am, since the last time that they were here, just listen to my question. Is there a protective order that's been issued?
No,
Okay. Have there been any criminal convictions of family violence against Mr. Miller?
not from my part, but he does have some.
Okay. What is the reason? What is your response? Well, is there anything else that you would consider family violence that you would like to mention right now?
I don't feel that my kids are safe around him.
Why?
Um, he, but if we want to backtrack to the beginning, of the court
No, I
order.
don't. I don't. I want you to tell me what has happened specifically since the last time we were in court, why the father should not have access to your address or know where the children are at.
Um, I would like to keep it like that. I don't feel safe that he has good intentions
Has he
on.
seen the children? When's the last time he saw the children?
It was probably that same year that we got the court order,
What year is that?
2015.
So it's your testimony that in 10 years, the father has not seen the children?
That's right.
I pass the witness.
All right. A lot of miscommunication here in your case. Number one here on the financial parts, Mr. Miller, you're not making your payments. You owe a tremendous large amount of money. There's no excuse for that, other than you just intended not to pay. That's the way I look at it when somebody owes $40,000 and $15,000. It's like $55,000 plus that you owe. You basically haven't paid very well, and you had the option to pay it and you didn't. So you got to pay this back. The amounts that the state's asking for is just paying interest. And so you have to pay more than just these numbers to pay that back because you weren't too sympathetic to the mother when you weren't paying your support. You pretty much were getting paid cash or self-employed, and you chose not to make your payments. So you're gonna have to make your payments. It's just gonna get worse. You're gonna wind up paying more money. You're not saving any money. Your kids aren't benefiting when you don't pay. You may think you're benefiting and that you're getting something over on the mother, but you're not. It's not. The children are gonna want to be the ones to suffer here, and then you're gonna wonder when they're adults why you still owe a large amount of money and why you got to pay it back to the mother. It's because she's basically loaning you money in a way. But she'd rather have the money consistently so that she can help pay for bills while the kids are kids, not when they're adults. So you need to get on fixing that for the future. There has been a material change in circumstances for child support. So for the future, you owe 262 for child support and 113 for medical. The payment on the child support arrears will be 252, and the payment on the medical support arrears will be 127. 10 years is a long time for there not to be visitation. Some of it is because you're out of state, Mr. Miller. Made some choice there to move out of state for whatever reason. That doesn't help as far as visitation is concerned. I mean, intentions are not they don't mean anything to me. What means something to me is when people actually do something. So if you chose to move out of state, that does not help your visitation. That's not anybody's fault. At the same time, if there's no reason for him not to have your address, and to pick up the kids, then we shouldn't be waiting 10 years for that to happen. That was never the intention 10 years ago for there to be no visitation. The intention was for y'all to figure it out for a little bit of supervised visits and then to jump into every other weekend visitation. I know that's probably both maybe a two-way street in that maybe Mr. Miller didn't try hard enough, but it's also you, Mr. Orozco, not allowing him to visit, not giving him a way to visit. In the end, y'all think y'all are playing games with each other, but you're really playing games with your kids. Your kids are the ones that are suffering here. Because no matter what you say, Mr. Orozco, your kids want to visit with Mr. Miller. I don't care what you say or what you think they're going to say or what you coach them to say. They want to visit with him. It's getting pretty late here. Uh, there are, mental issues they may have, or that as an adults, if they don't get to visit with their father. So y'all got to facilitate that to get visitation to happen. I'm not granting your non-disclosure. He's going to know your address. And that way he can come to pick up the kids when he comes back. And it'll be on y'all need to go and review the old order. As far as the visitation is concerned, I'm not making changes to it, but it's the every other weekend visits from Friday at 6 until Sunday at 6. The kids must go. They don't have a choice. Mr. Orozco, you don't have a choice. They have to go, but of course, it's dependent on Mr. Miller showing up. So if you're not going to come, Mr. Miller, like you're out of state, I understand you need to let Mr. Rosco know when you come back, when you're intending to start your visitation, and when you're going to do it regularly or not. If you're not going to do it regularly, then you need to let her know in advance, maybe a couple of days before, that yes, I am available this weekend. I'm planning to come. And then if there's a couple weeks or so or months or whatever that pass in between, she doesn't have to come to, she doesn't have to expect you to come unless you are you letting her know. But if you come regularly, then we can just expect that you're going to be there every other weekend. But you have to communicate as well with her as far as that's concerned, because she does not know when you're planning to come. Y'all don't have a choice on all that. Y'all have a court order y'all both must follow. And obviously you have responsibilities that y'all both need to take part of. And I don't see that either one of you are taking a part of that responsibility, but for the most part, Mr. Miller, you're really falling behind here on your support, and that's not good. That might help the other situation, because sometimes I know that child support is not dependent on visitation, visitation not dependent on child support, but sometimes when people pay better, it makes things a lot better too. It makes things better overall as far as communication, makes things better for there not being so many complications of visitation. But like I said, people like to play games. If you're not going to pay me child support, you're not going to see your kids. That's unfortunately people go to that level. I don't like that. Don't approve that. But that's what people do. So there are things that both of y'all can do to improve the situation. You need to stop thinking about what's best for me instead of what's best for my child. And that when you start actually thinking about what your child needs or children need, that's going to change everything. But right now, y'all are only thinking about what's good for me right now. And so that's the problem. Okay, court calls bill to Mr. Miller. The Attorney General's office will draft the order here and email you a copy after I sign it. We're done with court. You can press leave on the Zoom to exit out. Thank you.
Okay. Sir, can I ask you a question real quick? Okay, thank you.